Well, at least here on campus, students are trying to find their little boo, before the big day. So we decided to have, somewhat of an expert on the dating field. We have former semi-professional junior hockey player Cameron Smith, who's a student here at Mason, also part of the engineering program, who's here to talk about his new app, SpecUdate, and when it should be coming out and all those great details. So let's check it out.
So, Cameron, switching from wanting to be a professional hockey player to now a software engineering major, how does that work for you? Like, what made you change from being a hockey player to now computer science major and starting your own business?
Right, so from the age of 16, I was a junior hockey player coming out of high school, junior year. I moved away from home, and my single goal in life was to play in the NHL, to become a professional hockey player, to make it to the top level of ice hockey. Unfortunately, some things happened where I got injured, and then I got traded around a few teams. I started in Pennsylvania, and then I ended up in North Dakota. So
wow,
yeah, so it was serious, and it was something I was really into. And then, but at the same time, when the injury happened, it seemed like that path wasn't going to work out. So I had to look deep inside myself, and I said, look, you're a smart guy. You're into iPhones and tech stuff. So why don't you try to go to school and be a software engineer, learn computer science. So I decided to do that, and the George Mason hockey team contacted me, the head assistant coach, Alex Gross, and they said, hey, you should come in and try to play for us, and you'll be a star player, and you'll have a great time here. So I think it was a no-brainer for me to come to Mason and try to pursue my degree and also be able to play the sport I love at the same time.
Right, so how do you balance playing, hockey and also building this app and also your schoolwork as well? Right,
yeah. So my venture story at George Mason University started out pretty interesting. Actually, I was in a Sculpture 1 class in my freshman year, and I was given an assignment to put a unique spin on a piece of furniture. So being myself, I actually love fishing and fish and the outdoors and nature. So I said to my friend, let's put a fish tank inside a table. So my first venture was actually me building aquarium tables. And that started at Mason as well. And I balanced that with doing computer science, which is a lot of problem solving and stuff as well. And then during that time, I came up with the idea of SpecUdate. Well, originally it was going to be called LottoDate, because I actually came up with the idea when while I was away playing junior hockey. There's no one around. Like, you don't know anyone in the area. We're in the middle of Pennsylvania, right? And my teammates, they come up to me and they're like, Cameron, you should try the dating apps. You should just get on, and maybe you'll meet someone. And I had been so shy in high school. I literally was that kid who would ask a girl to homecoming and had never spoken to her before. And that actually happened. And it was an absolute, I got rejected. It was a fail. But, from there, I progressed, and I was on these dating apps. And then I thought, when I was at Mason, I thought, well, when I bought a lottery ticket one day, and I'm like, I compared it to my online dating experience, and I'm like, the game aspect of this, what if I could apply it to online dating? And that's where, I came up with the idea. Originally, I was going to call it LottoDate, but there was actually already a website called LottoDate.com, and then that led to me, one thing led to another, and my friend and I, Dennis, came up with the name SpecUdate, and we started developing it. And it's been challenging, balancing software engineering, my major, and all my ventures, but I want to point out to students that it is possible to pursue your dream, entrepreneurial dreams, do your side hustle, whatever it may be, and do your schoolwork at the same time. And I encourage people to do those things. So.
Well, I know a few engineering people, and they're always in their books, never really have time for the social life. I know you're doing ice hockey still, and then you have your business venture, obviously classes. Do you have time for a social life outside of that?
Right. That really depends on a person's personality. Obviously, a lot of people who do computer science are more introverted and maybe not so outgoing. I don't consider myself one of those people. I like the concept of learning to code and stuff, but I don't get super technical with it. I'm not super into everything, but I like understanding and producing something. Doing my projects and stuff. But social life, I mean, do I go to parties and stuff related to school? Am I in a frat? No. But I mean, doesn't mean I don't go out. I mean, actually, one of the good ways to promote for our marketing is to actually get to some parties, and they're really good ways to get signups for our app because people are out, you know, a lot of single people may be looking to meet the one someday. So, you know, I do go out. You definitely make sacrifices when you do things like this. We're especially starting a social movement with our app. Whatever you're doing, you really have to put a lot of time in, and you don't always get to do the thing. You have to make sacrifices, whether it be with your relationship or with going out with friends. You always have to make sacrifices. But if you really love what you do, you know, it's like you don't want to wake up going to work. I consider school like work, and dread what you're doing every day.
Yeah.
I think having that thing on the side that you really like, really, you know, it's worth it in the end.
Okay, so with different apps like Tinder, Bumble, they all have their different niches, basically. So what makes SpecUdate different from those other dating apps? Like, what is, because I've seen a little bit, it's the game, the real game. So how is that different from those other apps?
Right. So in my experience on dating apps, there's a few common themes. You'll see a picture of the person when you come across their profile, a bio, usually up to 500 characters. So people could technically write an essay about themselves, but a lot of people don't. And maybe some prompts, like some apps do, like my favorite first date would be. So you have prompts, the bio, maybe some details about them, how tall they are, whatever, some other nitty-gritty details, and then the bio. But, you know, we wanted to, part of the idea of this app when I came up with it was like, I want to give people a better way, a unique way to express themselves. So I thought of adding a game to the typical dating app, where people create their own game, and it consists of two things: 2 truths and a lie, and truth or lie, which is kind of like a classic icebreaker. We all know 2 truths and a lie. Everyone knows that. So basically, what I thought is that when people sign up for the app, maybe they could create their own get to know me game, which consists of those 2 parts, and then we could really gamify the user experience while also creating an icebreaker. So, you know, and I kind of had this feeling in my gut it would be a good idea. But so I went with my gut. I didn't do any surveys or anything beforehand. We have conducted some surveys, though, on our Instagrams at SpecUdate, and, you know, found out some things about you know, people, college-age people. And so some of those surveys, I'll point them out to you here. I actually have them. So first of all, I asked, have you tried dating apps? With 75 participants, 60% said no, 30% said yes. So people are trying dating apps. It's actually becoming more and more common for people to try dating apps, but they're still, you know, not accepted by everyone. Another question I asked was, if you have tried dating apps, did you ever get bored of them? 68% said yes, and 32% said no. So people have gotten bored of dating apps after trying them for a while because it becomes so repetitive. And that's something we want to address with SpecUdate. We might even add new games in the future for future releases outside of the Truth or Lie game to help with that. If you have tried dating apps, this is another question. Did you ever find it hard to know what to say in your bio? 76% of people said that they've had trouble knowing what to say in their bio, and 24% said no. So obviously there's some struggles there on dating apps. A lot of times it's hard to know what to say about yourself because there could be so much, or there could not be enough.
Yeah.
Another question was, and this is the big one for SpecUdate that puts value on SpecUdate. If you have tried dating apps, did you ever find it hard to know what to say in a message to someone? How much percent do you think said yes?
I think a majority definitely said yes.
90% said they've had trouble knowing what to say in a message to someone on dating apps, and 10% said no.
That's not shocking.
And that's the great thing about SpecUdate, is that once people match based off these games, and we actually want to make it fun, we're not going to use the word match anywhere in the app. Basically, you can win the game, or you can be saved by the other person who played your game. So win or be saved.
So they're saving you if they like you. And you tried your best. They can give you like another life.
Right. Basically. So one or both.
That's interesting.
One or both of you has to win the game. So it's pretty easy to connect if you both play each other's game. It's very likely. So. And then, so the last question was, if you have not tried dating apps, why not? And I gave 2 options for this poll: not comfortable or heard they suck. 40% of people said that they heard they suck, and 60% said not comfortable. So obviously there's those people who maybe you'll never get for dating apps. But maybe we can change the common understanding of dating apps with SpecUdate, the common, what people think about them, by making it more fun and gamified. And people who heard they suck, maybe it's because they weren't fun, and we want to bring that, make it fun and easy. Those are our 2 main words: fun and easier to have good conversation with people and make meaningful connections. So.
I like
I thought it's interesting because
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I'm never gonna be on a dating app.
Same.
I've tried it, but it's not
Right.
not my scene. But also, like, we're in a generation where a lot of people aren't meeting in person, whereas like our parents were meeting
Right.
in clubs
Yep.
or meeting at a poetry place, or you know what I mean. They were meeting out in person,
Right.
whereas there's kind of that disconnect between the two generations.
Right, and that brings me to my next point, and that's that often, you say you met your significant other on a dating app, and your parents say, or their parents say, so, how did you guys meet?
Yeah.
A lot of people are, because of the perspective of current dating apps and, the kind of reputation they have, oftentimes you won't tell the truth.
Yeah.
And, that's fine. I mean, if you want to be discreet about it, that's fine. But maybe with SpecUdate, we can help change the perspective of that. And it's true that, technology has changed so much. The world is, Facebook and everything that's going on the internet, people are connecting in ways that before, people wrote letters before. Now we have instant messaging.
Yes.
People wrote letters, so it's crazy. And there's so many different ways that are being developed for people to connect and meet, and SpecUdate, I feel like, has a potential of being one of those next big things.
Okay, so we do see like a bunch of flyers. I've had a lot of friends like talking about this. They're all across campus.
Right.
What's the flyers for? What are we doing? Because
Right.
I tried looking for an app, but right now we can't find one. So like, explain that to me right now.
Right. So the flyers we put out, they say SpecUdate app in development. In development is the key word there by Mason students, meaning that we're in the development stage.
Okay.
And then we see our social media on there because we want people to follow us and what we're doing. And our marketing has been done completely by myself, actually.
That's
And
wild.
it's kind of crazy to think, because you think about how much SpecUdate is all over campus, and it was all done by me. And it's because of, the things, like I said, some things have happened to me in my life, and it made me a really determined person. And really, I for my training with hockey, I really understand that you have to do things over and over and over again for things to start going your way.
Yeah.
So I've been extremely consistent in marketing, putting cards out, card drops, flyers. Basically, I say to myself, look, you're the general, and these cards, these thousands of cards and your flyers, they're your army. So just, get the word out as best you can, and things will start happening. Just like this. We were featured in Fourth Estate today, and I'm very thankful for Fourth Estate for reaching out to us, and you can get your copy and read a little bit about me and Dennis and our story with SpecUdate. So basically, I've been very consistent and in marketing and being at the kiosks as well, getting signups for KitKats, every little thing we can do to get more signups. So in the area.
Okay, so what is your goal for this app, for SpecUdate?
Right. Our goal is to be the next big thing in meeting online and gain a reputation throughout the Virginia area. And we want to pitch as well. We're going to apply to the Ventures for Wellbeing competition here. I think that's in April here. We'll be able to pitch for $5,000, and we think we have a good chance of doing well at that. And so pitching and getting out there, and eventually the app should spread itself if it's good enough.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with being entrepreneurial, you kind of have to go with your gut. And with this app, obviously, we take losses in the beginning. We're not making any money or anything like that. We're just doing something that we think has a chance, and that's how apps go, basically. They either make it or they don't. And you have to go with your gut and believe that this is going to make it, and I'm not going to stop till it does. So, but the goal with SpecUdate is for it to be as viral as apps like, Tinder maybe one day. So, we'll see.
What do you think your biggest obstacle is? Not only like in the beginning stages, but like moving forward through it.
Right. And one of the biggest obstacles is actually, for people looking at us, they think, oh, you're going into a flooded market. The dating app market right now, online dating market, is exploding, and it's flooded, but there's also still so much room for opportunity, we believe, as long as you create your own niche. And that's what we believe SpecUdate is going to do. We're going to put ourselves in our own niche of dating apps with the game aspect of it and the icebreaker aspect, and we want people to fall in love with that idea and people to appreciate, what we're doing, which is putting more value, we think, on the individual.
Yeah.
Which is why the U in our logo is capitalized, actually. So, because we're putting more value on the individual, and because I think that people should have the opportunity to present themselves as more than just pictures and a bio. We have nothing against other dating apps. We just want to create our own niche.
And yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. Like a lot of my friends go on Tinder to just scroll.
Right.
Sometimes I just go in there and look at people's pictures. I just think it's another Instagram. Like
Right.
it's oversaturated with the same thing. So this is definitely something that's very like interesting and actually makes you double think about maybe I would try that.
Right.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a whole game.
Yeah. And we're gonna collect feedback from users, and maybe they'll want us to add new kinds of games. We'll start with the truth or lie game, but we see so many different games we could do in the future potentially. Or we just stick with the original game. We'll see how it goes, and we could do like, I don't know, your favorite date, things you don't like, things you do like. You could ask so many different questions to people,
Right.
but still keep it short and fun at the same time.
Well, did you have any last things you wanted people to know about the app, about you, how they can support you and
Right.
sign up, things of that sort?
Right. Well, we're taking signups on our website, SpecUdate.com. Every signup counts, really. We need as much big of a user base as we can to start out with, and we'll only email you when we release the app. I also want to encourage people who have their own ideas on campus to do it. I mean, no matter how much time you have in a day, there's always time to plan at least a venture you want to do and get out there and chase. You don't want to leave your dreams left unchased, so or your ideas. So that's what I would say. And if you want to support us, please sign up for our app at SpecUdate.com and follow us on social media as well at SpecUdate.
Thank you. Thank you
for
so
coming.
much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's been a pleasure being on the show.
Thank you.
Sadly, we have come to the end of our show, but don't worry, The Spill is expanding this semester with new exclusive segments and interviews.
Most definitely. So make sure you are tuned in for Word on the Streets and our new segment, What's Up Wednesdays. We will also be sending out live updates from our social media accounts throughout the week at The Spill GMU on Instagram and Twitter. I'm India.
And I'm Reagan.
And I'm Chris.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you back here next time.